So this is absolutely amazing. When we first brought this up, we thought for sure we could get some family together and maybe a few old friends, yeah, we just couldn't have really imagined this. So, I mean, thank you all for coming. Not only do we have people that covered a lot of distance to get here, but seemingly covered quite a bit of time to get here as well. I want to shout out to Mary and Patty Foster, just childhood friends back from the day. Patty, yes, stand. Okay, sit. Patty was my babysitter when we've been talking about changing my diapers for the last 20 minutes.
How come you look older? Very much.
Good job, Mary.
Good job, Mom.
Sorry. You're gonna have to think. Buy her a drink.
She's on her game.
All right, so you can sit down now. Thanks, Patty. I wanted to also just to bring this home. But Will and Nora Kiger. I met Will. Where's Nora? I haven't seen Nora. Where's Nora? Anywhere? No, did she not make it back down here? Okay. I wanted, because they made it out here as well. I haven't seen these guys for 40 years, back when we were vacationing in Nag's Head. So just incredible that everybody just covered this amount of time and distance to come here and celebrate with us. We really just appreciate it. We have 4 generations of family here in the room. We have generations of friends as well. Thank you for we were very lucky to have such long-term friendships. There's a number of people here that just spanned the time. 20 years, 30 years. Bill Haley, my high school friend. I can't believe you guys made it down here. 35 years. The Wrights couldn't make it. I'm sorry that they couldn't make it. The Howes, I was really hoping that they would make it. But again, and that's just mine and my sister's generation. Judy Taylor, thank you. Jane Moore. Luther Kiger, I know you're in there. I know you guys are in the room. I know you can hear me.
Yeah. There they are, back there at the table.
And I got to mention, along with Bruce and Jim and Dorothy, who were sorely missed on any day of the week, but very much so on celebrations like this. You guys have been family friends for 65, 70 years. So absolutely remarkable. When I look around this room, I know I speak for my parents when I express our deepest, absolutely deepest heartfelt thanks for being here today and being in our lives for however long you've been. So thank you all for coming.
Yes.
But on to the guests of honor. Our honorees this evening have a combined 267 years of life and experience between them.
Where are they at?
So sit back and get comfortable, because we're covering every single one of them. Sadly, that's not true. Unfortunately, we won't be able to spend the time that each of them deserve in providing this toast. We didn't get the room for the whole week. As they say, age before beauty. Though in this case, it really doesn't matter because she fits amazingly into both categories.
Woo! Yeah, Grand. Woo!
We're here to celebrate
Or Mary.
my Aunt Marion's 95th birthday, though by all accounts, she stopped aging at about 60.
Look at her. She's got her hand over her face. She's ready.
So embarrassed.
And Marion, I hope you're okay with no candles on the cake. Hall County just doesn't allow bonfires. I remember the holidays. Our families, as I'm sure many families did, but we used to round robin the holidays among the families, and we would do, Christmas at one house and Thanksgiving at another, and so on and so forth throughout the years. And I remember something special about Marion's house, and
Peanut soup.
It wasn't the spread. I mean, beautiful, beautiful spread, long, long table of food, and I love food. It wasn't the dolls, the historical dolls, and all that. It was the airplane hangar in the backyard. I'm not kidding. My Uncle Ken actually built a plane in his backyard. Cool little family trivia here. Uncle Ken actually crashed a plane into the dismal swamp and walked out. Not kidding. Not making this stuff up. But I remember those Christmases and those Thanksgivings, and I remember mostly Marion always the picture of grace and elegance. And having been born in 1924, as you read on the plaques out front, and I don't think we say this enough about the women from that period, but she was absolutely part of the greatest generation, no doubt about it. And though she may do it a little bit slower these days, she still carries herself with incredible grace and excellence. So, happy 95th birthday to my 60-year-old Aunt Mary. So let's talk about your baby brother, my dad.
The baby.
He was a little too young to make it into World War II, but he did make it to the Korean War. Well, didn't quite make it to the war. I think you were sunbathing on the deck of the battleship in the Caribbean. He doesn't like to talk about it. Too many memories, so don't bring that. But it's funny, I was thinking about, remembering things, looking back at things, and what I remember mostly is some of the weird little things as, growing up, and things like trips to the hardware store, walking down the street to Bobby Meyer's house and fishing off the dock. Little things, it wasn't the monumental things. And I remember that eyebrow.
I remember that.
Apparently more than Carrie and Diane know what I'm talking about.
You remember the eyebrow.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that eyebrow go up. But those teenage years were a bit of a challenge.
It was like,
Weren't they, Pops? Yes.
we can all do it. Like,
Yeah. We were challenging kids, especially Carrie.
yeah, Mom.
It's always the middle child.
She's like, what?
Hey, if you're not going to listen, we're not going to revisit this.
Yeah, Mom.
But it's always the middle child. So it's right, where's Stephanie, right?
Hey.
But we got them through it. What would you expect from somebody that was born into the Great Depression, grew up on the mean streets of Norfolk, Virginia, and had 3 delinquents for kids. Well, 2 delinquents for kids. Diane put all this together, so I'm not going to pick on Diane tonight, because this is pretty amazing.
Don't bring yours in today.
But on top of that, quadruple bypass, a heart that won't stop. And I mean, it won't stop literally, because he's got a defibrillator in his chest that keeps it going. So it's not, it's not something, I mean, in case, unless anybody unplugs that special phone next to the bed, right? We're good, right? Okay. But let me sum up the old man with this. When my firstborn was born, I started to...
Yeah, Nick.
I kind of foresaw, I started to see some of the things that I was in for. And I wrote my dad a song back when I thought myself would be a bit of a musician.
It's a good song.
And I will leave you with the last line of that song. And it goes like this. When my son one day asks me who I'd like to be, I'll say a hero to him like you are to me. Happy 90th birthday to my own son.
Good job, Pete.
But behind every good man is a great woman. And in this case, it's completely off the charts. 60 years ago, the man I just described married the woman that would make him that man and the family that we are today. Gorgeous 22-year-old graduate from Sweetbriar, eldest daughter of a steel tycoon from Chicago. Completely different world. I can only imagine what Grandpa said when he met the 30-year-old man that was going to take his eldest 22-year-old daughter away. I have to imagine, because the only people that can tell me what he might have said are too old to remember. But a remarkable woman with her own strong opinions, though you may not have heard them very clearly under the very strong opinions of her husband. That's okay though. She was still very politically motivated, volunteering on a number of campaigns.
Yep.
A lifelong volunteer for the public library, and even going back to college after the kids were grown to get her master's degree. Graduated on the same day that her eldest daughter graduated college, but foregoing her own graduation, attended her daughter's graduation. She has always been a selfless and strong, independent role model for her daughters and her granddaughters and anybody else who was paying attention. So here we are, 60 years, trials, tribulations, sadness, gladness, generations of family and friends. We are here to celebrate your accomplishments, not in the business world, not in the political world, but in the world of friends and family. So please, if you would all raise your glass and toast my parents' 60 years. Let's cut the cake.